ever had a crush on someone and that crush then becomes so intense that it leaves you having so much thoughts about them, daydreaming about them, fantasizing about them, having hopes about them, having you thinking that it's feelings, and at times it leaves you wondering, how do they actually feel about you? Where you would end up thinking how they feel about you, are they thinking about you as much as you think about them? But there's no step to taken to ever think that this person made it clear to you that they like you, or that you're just falling for confusions. It's mixed signals, it's avoidance, they're ignoring you but you like them, both of you like each other, but somehow there's no communication to say that we're both interested in one another. Well, I'm here to burst your bubble. That is not love, that is limerence. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to another video where we're going to be talking about limerence. Limerence is something that I have learned along my life in my healing journey, and limerence is an attachment style that comes with anxious attachment and emotional unavailability. That comes with anxious attachment of you fantasizing about a certain guy or girl. Limerence is a thing that I had to deal with and that I finally understood going on my healing journey was something that I've learned is actually from you thinking that it is love and it's not. It is you falling for a mixture of breadcrumbs or mixed signals, as we'd call it, when a guy would ignore you, or when a guy would ignore you but always constantly stare at you, that leaves you wondering, that leaves you confused. I'm here to burst your bubble, okay? And as much as hard as it is for you to admit to yourself you have limerence. So in today's video, we're gonna go in depth with limerence. I'm gonna be explaining what the limerence means, what it can look like, and how to get out of it. So before we do get started, please don't forget to like, subscribe, don't forget to like this video and share this video with anyone who you think might find this video relevant. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Let me know in the comments what you think about this video, and let us get started. Limerence is not about having a crush. It is about having an emotional obsession with someone, especially when this crush or this person you supposedly like hasn't returned the exact same feelings you are feeling in return. Can often look like you are overthinking every interaction. If you happen to see them and they're staring at you, you start going into these fantasies, creating these scenarios in your head about them, or checking their social medias to see which kind of girl they're following, the kind of girl that they find attractive, or feeling the highs and lows, emotional highs and lows of them giving you that attention that you want when they see you, giving them that attention. See the emotional highs and lows of when you're going, let's say for example, you in a shop, right, and you have a crush on someone, or you at school and you have a crush on someone, and because this crush finds you attractive or something like that, and they haven't said anything to you, you don't know whether they like you, you don't know whether they have the same feelings you do. It is more so to say that if they look at you, if they give you attention in certain ways or wherever you are, you're going to immediately get a high vibrational mood, right? But if they don't give you attention, you immediately starting feeling sad, depressed. Then you come home, you put on sad music, you then romanticize that emotions, that sad emotions that you feel when they don't give you the exact attention. And it can almost feel addicting, because it is that dopamine and it gives you that trigger of dopamine that lies within your brain. But let me just make something clear. Limerence is not about reality. It is about you fantasizing. You start building an emotional attachment to someone that hasn't made it clear that they like you. They haven't made it clear that they want to pursue you. They have not made it clear to you that they want a relationship with you. So you start having a crush on someone, you start fantasizing about thoughts of like, oh, what it would be like when you guys go on a date, when you guys have this when you guys have these cute little interactions, and then you step into that expectation of something happening. But that is you loving in a fantasy, and that's not reality. The reality should be, okay, this person finds me interesting and I see this person. But if this person has not made any intention of pursuing you, let it go. Because If you look at it clearly, that is not the person. You haven't fallen in love with the person for who that person is, but fallen in love with the person for the idea that you've created in your mind about them. When you immediately start fantasizing about someone, and immediately that thoughts comes up about this person, and you're like, man, I'm so in love with this person, and in reality, the person ends up either rejecting you. The person either ends up not having the same feelings you do. They like you, but they're not in love with you. Or they find you attractive, but they don't want a relationship with you. That is where I struggled a lot with it in my high school, where when I was in high school, finding or having a crush on someone, and you start fantasizing about it. So that when the and in the end, when the person either rejects you or you end up getting hurt, you all of a sudden be like, this person is not what I thought he would be. This person ended up betraying me more than I ever thought he could. That is because you fell in love with the fantasy and not the reality of it. If someone doesn't make it clear to you in reality that they want to pursue or have something to do with you in your life, then that is not love. That is just rather you fantasizing about that relationship that hasn't even happened in reality. So, limerence hard to now, why is limerence hard to let go of? Limerence is hard to let go of because it is a form of where you have a lack of clarity about something, about someone, about someone's emotions towards you, about someone's feelings towards you. Where I like to use the reference called breadcrumbing you, where the person is giving you breadcrumbs to pick up every single time. So if they give you this little bit of attention, you start picking up those breadcrumbs. If they don't give you attention, there's no breadcrumbs to pick up. And that is a form of mixed signals. Mixed signals. Now, limerence tends definitely forms from a fear of not being enough. Sometimes it can be from childhood, your childhood when you're growing up, of not being enough, or you have emotional neglect, or you haven't been chosen or validated when you were younger, or in your experiences along life where you were not chosen or where you're not validated. That is what limerence is. Now, that is where that limerence or that attachment to limerence falls in. So sometimes what I like when I thought of this, it was mainly just about if you've struggled where you've been rejected in your lifetime, or you've been rejected a lot in your past life, or when you were younger. This definitely can form from that trigger. Limerence can form from that because you were rejected. You now feel like because someone shows this little sign of interest for you, you have to end up chasing that interest. You have to end up chasing that validation that they're giving you, that energy, that attention, that stays, that looks that they're giving you. It means you have to start chasing over it. You have to start chasing it from the person, that then what leads you to then get attached to the person, emotionally attached or anxiously attached to this person. Anxious attachment is when you have a fear of someone leaving your life because you are operating from a lack mindset. So because you have an anxious attachment, you have this fear that if this person leaves your life, if this crush leaves your life, you're never going to find someone better than this person. And that is what I always used to think when I had a crush on someone and this person had rejected me in the past. I always used to think to myself and tell myself or believe or make myself believe that if this person leaves my life, I'm never going to find someone better than this person. I'm never going to find someone like this person. So if you end up chasing, then it's going to lead you to end up chasing this validation, this attention, and the fact of feeling chosen by this person, you're going to end up chasing. And that's not a healthy form of love. That is not the kind of love I would want myself to have in the future, that I would want my children to have in the future. That is not the kind of love I would want. And this is where the definition of why limerence is so hard to let go of, because it's built on childhood neglect, emotional neglect. If you were neglected emotionally as a child, I suggest that because you were neglected emotionally, you need to start working on that as an adult. So when you're healing yourself, try finding ways to build that or heal your inner child. That is the only way I can say you're gonna ever heal from limerence. So it can also be very hard to let go of. It is because when this person, for example, if you're texting your crush and he doesn't respond or things like that, it almost feels like a rejection for your self-worth. that is what happens. It almost feels like this person thinks that you're gonna start questioning your own worth. This is what limerence tends to do. You're gonna start questioning if someone doesn't respond to you. You're gonna end up people pleasing. You're gonna end up chasing that validation from this person, and that is what's going to lead you to feel like if this person doesn't respond in a certain way, or doesn't respond to your text immediately, or to your signs that you're giving them that you like them as well, you're going to start thinking that this person's rejecting you and that you're not worthy of love, or that you're unworthy, or that you're not deserving of being happy. And this was definitely something along in my healing journey that I think that God was definitely showing me where it is that I needed to heal. And that showing me, or trying to show me, what the experiences I've had in my life, knowing that I was dealing with limerence, is when your worth and your power never ever depends on anyone else. No one else has the right to say how valuable you are, how wonderful you are. No one has the right to ever tell you that you don't deserve to be happy, or you don't deserve to be with someone better. No one ever has that right. And that was something that I was lacking in my. Now that we've gone through the definitions of what limerence can look like, what it is, and what it can do to you, with the forms of bonds, trauma bonds that it can give you in your lifetime, I want to now go through some steps and some guidance on how to heal from it. And these are guidelines that has helped me along my journey, because it was a difficult and challenging one. But I think I'm also going to add into this guidelines is to start learning how to be detached, focusing on your peace and on your silence, to know, to show people that this is not what you're falling for, to show God that this is no longer what you want to attract in your life. That is definitely one thing I'm going to add as extra, as a bonus in this portion. So, step number 1 is to acknowledge that fantasy. So, acknowledge the fantasy that you have, that you're dealing with. Write it out and compare. Once you've written it out, compare then with reality. So, for example, if you have a fantasy about someone saying, oh, you're going to your crush comes and approaches you and confesses their feelings to you, right? That's the fantasy that you're going to write out. Look at it in reality. Has their behavior shown that they like you? Has their behavior, their actions, their words, their choices shown that they want to pursue you? If not, then that is the reality. You should start focusing on the reality of the situation. If there hasn't been any signs whatsoever that this person wants to pursue you or wants to be with you, let it go. Because if someone likes you, they're not going to ignore you. They're not going to run away from you. They're not going to avoid you, even if they're nervous. I mean, if you're nervous and you have the courage to go and confess to your crush, you were nervous as hell, but you still wanted to be a part of this person's life because you like them. So if someone likes you and they're running away from you, they're ignoring you, they see you coming across and they're avoiding you, you should start paying attention to those things. This is what I like to call observe, but don't absorb it. Observe their actions, their behaviors towards you, how they're acting around you. When the minute they see you, how do they act? So that is you observing it. Don't absorb. Don't take it personal, and don't take it emotional. Don't think that it's because of you, this is why this person is acting this way. Don't think that because this person's acting a specific way with someone else and acting completely different with you, that it has something to do with you, because that is not true. Because if someone likes you and if someone wants to pursue you, they will not run away from you. They would take measures, steps. If they wanted you, you would know. They would, if they truly, truly liked you or had feelings for you, they would do anything by any means possible, do anything to keep you in their life or to be a part of your life. It's as simple as that. Don't say, oh, but this, oh, but that. No. And this was something that I had to learn myself. If someone loves you and if someone likes you and they make it known to you, probably then you could pursue it. But if they approach you and say, listen, I like you and I would like something to come out of this connection that we have, then you take it from there. But if their actions and their behavior is showing something completely different to what their eyes and their facial expressions is showing, believe it. Because if there's one thing Don't fall for that confusion. It is going to lead you into something that you're going to struggle to let go of. And it's going to take you longer to move on in life and accept what it is that you deserve in life and that you're going to deal with. This is what I like to call the observe and don't absorb method. By far the best method I've ever implemented in my life. Now, step number 2 is cut the addiction cycles. So, one thing that has helped me with this is if the person you like is on social media and you following them, unfollow them, please block them if you have to, just do it. Release the person from your social media and from your space and from your environment. For me, in an instance, if it's someone that you're gonna see like physically every single day, I'd say take some time away from that place. If it means you have to ask your siblings to go, if you need to go to that place, if it's an emergency, ask someone else to go. Just stay away from that place completely. Because you need to stop replying to the stories or to the fantasies or to whatever the case may be. Because you need to actually, because you're going to give your space, your brain, more power to obsess over the person, to obsess over the situation, or to keep you stuck and stagnant longer. Do it. If it's something that happens in you on social media, I'd say unfollow them and block them. Now, for me, this was a little bit different, but because it was in a physical, when it was in school, I see you every single day. I can't stay out of school, so just avoid the person if that's what you have to do. If it's instances where you constantly going to see them at a shop or something, stay away. Something that definitely helped me was just stay away. Just stay away for a little bit, because it's not to say that you're going to, something might happen, but it's you staying away because you're allowing yourself to focus on the reality and to detach yourself and to focus on your healing from this, so that you can then understand what is happening. Now, this can be very difficult because especially at times when 1 minute you detach, right? And you're easily going to fall for the slightest sign that they're giving you. That is you showing that this person has power over your energy and your attention span and your attention. So you need to start reprogramming that. You need to start working on that. So when I say stay away for a little bit, unfollow them, block them on social media, do what you need to keep this person out of your eyesight view. Step number 3 is, I'd say, spend time with yourself and spend time with God. If there is anything that you need help with healing from it, ask God, because God will show you and he will guide you and he will help you. He will show you exactly what the issue is. He will show you where it is that you're struggling, where it is that you're lacking. I cannot tell you how many times I've asked God, if there's anything I need to heal from, please reveal it to me. And he's revealed it to me so many times. He has revealed it to me. Another thing I'd say is spend time with yourself. When your mind starts, especially when your mind is going to start to spiral and fantasize or think about them, spending time with yourself to journal everything out and spending time with God is going to allow you to release the fantasy and focus on the reality of the situation. It is also going to help you because if the more that you pray, one thing I did in my time was, when I was healing from it, I definitely asked God a lot to show me how valuable I am. Show me how you see me, how you view me, and how valuable you see that I am. This was definitely the power lied in, because when I finally realized and was starting to see how valuable I am, how amazing I am, how enough I am, because if you are a Christian and you believe in God, the fact that God would choose you so many times, despite how many wrongs you've done, despite how many sins despite how many times you've run away from him, and he still ended up choosing you, and he still ended up telling you that you're enough. That already should be your affirmations and your sign to show you how valuable you are, how enough you are, that you don't need to be falling for someone's breadcrumbs or someone's mixed signals. Because remember, life is not about confusion. It's either you don't know what you want, or you do know what you want. There's no in between. You know what you want, but you don't know. There's no mixed signals. If you're a Christian, even God says in his word that I am not the author of confusion. Because if God sends something in your life or someone into your life, you will know. If they wanted you, you will know. There is no such thing as confusion or mixed signals. It's either they want you or they don't. It's as simple as that. So the fact that if you're falling for the confusion and the mixed signals, that it means that this person's confused themselves. They don't know what they even want, what their life, their emotions, they are confused themselves. So that should be your exact sign of why you should stay away from the confusion. Now, step number 4 is start replacing that fantasy with reality. I'd say start getting into building those routines that works for you. Okay. Start replacing that fantasy with reality. What I mean by this is start creating that proper routines, that proper goals. Start getting more specific. Use ChatGPT if you need help. Using ChatGPT, using social media to help you create the routines that you know is going to work for you and that's going to help you accomplish and focus on your goals. One thing I've learned that has helped me focus a lot on the reality is focusing on the present moment. The 24 hours I have of a Tuesday morning, or a Tuesday, or a Wednesday, or whatever day of the week it may be, or whatever day it may be. Focusing on the 24 hours you have within that day, because you focusing on the reality is almost going to detach your mind from fantasizing. So if it means that you want to start that YouTube channel, start the YouTube channel. If you want to learn how to make money online, start learning how to make money online. If you want to learn how to learn a language, start learning the language now. If you want to start learning an instrument, start learning it. The more you're spending time with yourself, and the more you spend time working on your goals and on the reality of right now, it's me. It is always me. Stop obsessing over someone that is giving you breadcrumbs and start obsessing over yourself, because you know what it is that you want in your life. You know you're not confused. You know what it is that you want. No matter how much you like this person or have feelings for this person, the feelings are going to fade over time. But the more you focus on yourself, work so hard on yourself, and the more hard I work on myself, is the more I see and realize how valuable I am, how worthy and how deserving I am of happiness. I can understand how emotional this can be and how difficult it can be to heal from it, because in that spiral it kept me a lot of the times thinking I don't deserve to be happy. I don't deserve, if I was rejected from this person, what makes me think I deserve other things to come into my life? And that is the false belief I made myself believe. And because this person's actions is making you believe a false belief in your mind, making you think that you're not deserving of happiness, of peace, of being happy, or being with someone that loves you and that respects you, that was the false beliefs I had to let go of. If you need to write a letter, write a letter. If you need to journal it out, journal it out. But stop wasting time. And the minute I started doing this was the minute I started realizing what it is I actually wanted to attract in my life. It is almost the saying as being a parent to yourself. Do you seriously one day when you have a child want your child to be with someone who's giving them mixed signals, who's giving them breadcrumbs? Do you seriously want your child to be with someone who's giving them breadcrumbs, coming home 1 minute happy, getting that dopamine trigger in their brain because they crush like them, and then coming home the next day so sad because the crush never paid attention to them? If you do not want it for yourself, why would you even want it for your child? Start getting so serious right now about your future. Just start getting serious about your future. I am going to say one thing now, and when I realized this, when I started focusing more on myself, I started getting so specific with the kind of person it is that I wanted in my life. The experiences I've had in my life with this limerence and healing from it, and no matter how many times it kept on repeating itself with different people and with different people that came into my life, I didn't even realize this, but the minute you start noticing that this is teaching you something, because this is a repeating pattern in your life, is the minute you should start thinking, okay, what is this teaching me? What is this teaching me about myself? Everything in life, or that happens in life, is an experience for you to learn how to love yourself, or how to be there for yourself, or for you to see how valuable you are, how grateful you should be for your life, how grateful you should be to care for your body, to be at peace, to have peace. That is the kind of life. That is the kind of things you do yourself. Step number 5, start journaling. I'm going to give you some journal prompts that has helped me. This is just going to help you understand what it is you're actually dealing with in your life, to be able to answer the questions and the triggers that might come up when you're dealing with limerence. So, journal prompt number 1 is, why do I believe that this person can give me what I don't believe I can give myself? What does God say about me? And what am I afraid of if I let go? These questions help me a lot, because I'm going to use the last one as an example. When I was so afraid to let go, it was because I thought that I was never going to be happy, or that I was never going to find someone better than the supposed person I had a crush on. And later on in life, I am at the most peace I am in my life right now, knowing what it is that I deserve and what it is that I want in my life. And finally, step number 6 is, remind yourself that you don't need someone who confuses yourself, that you don't need someone who confuses you. Because if it is real, it is not going to bring confusion. It is not going to bring chasing, or constant questioning, or constant wonders, or constant thoughts. It is not going to. Because if God gives you love, and God brings you love, as it is said, God brings us love and not torment, as it is said in Isaiah 26 verse 3. That says, you will keep in perfect peace, that you will keep in perfect peace those not in whose minds are stayed, and because they trust in you. That's where you find peace, not someone's attention, but in God's presence. If you find yourself more and more in the presence of yourself and in the presence of God, the more peace you build in your life, the more peace you're going to receive in your life. I was in a phase where I received the most peace in my life, and I still feel like I am in this phase where I'm learning how to be more in my presence and in God's presence. The peace I receive from it is something beyond imaginable. I am grateful. I am not chasing after things. I'm not chasing after anyone. I'm not desperate for certain things. I'm not desperate for where my life is going to go, but I'm just at peace with what I have and what is available to me right now in the season, or in my life, in this phase of my life. And that is where the true peace will then come in. That is where the detachment comes in. And that is where the understanding comes in of how valuable you are, what it is that you want, that if something is for you, it is never going to leave you. It is never going to run away from you. It might take time to come to you, but eventually in life, it is going to come to you. Trust me, it will. Finally, I know this video, when you watch this video, it's going to be hard to admit it to yourself. It is going to hurt like hell. But it is the only way you're going to grow. And it is the only way that you're going to learn and understand how valuable you are. And that your worth never ever relies on the person's presence or their response. Because when you learn to love yourself, and when you learn that you deserve true love, or that you deserve love and happiness, you are then going to realize that love is steady, love is mutual, and love is clear. There's not going to be any confusion, there's not going to be any wondering, there's not going to be any doubts, questions coming up in your mind. You should just know that love is clear. you will know when you're in love and when the right person has come into your life. You will definitely know. And finally, guys, that brings us to the end of yet another video. I just want to remind you today that you should start telling yourself that you choose peace, that you are trusting God with what He has planned for you in your life, and that you are releasing any fantasies that is going to disturb your peace, because you are finally taking the step forward to choose peace and to live in peace. And because I've done that, I would like to invite you to do the same. Choose the peace in your life. If this video has completely helped you understand what it is that you're dealing with and what limerence really is, please let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of this video, how this video helped you. Like it helped me, let me know also what you guys think. If there's any more videos you guys would like me to make, let me know in the comments. Share your experiences as well, your stories, your understandings of limerence as well. I'm happy to learn more, and I'm happy to know more about it. Please also don't forget to follow me on Instagram, like this video, share it, leave in the comments what you thought, and I will see you in the next one.